get this. Someone actually asked us to do a deep dive into,
Really?
yeah, the science of hula hooping.
Hula hoops.
Hula hoops. You know that toy we all probably haven't thought about since like elementary school?
Oh, yeah?
I have to admit, I was a little skeptical at first. But then I started reading this article from Life Science. It's called How Do Hula Hoops Work? And let me tell you,
Yeah.
things got really interesting. So we're going to try and answer some questions that you might not even realize you had. Like, how does a hula hoop even stay up?
Right?
Is there some kind of magic formula to it? And why do some people seem to just get it?
Yeah.
While others like me look like a total klutz.
We weren't sure you done.
Oh, yeah. Plus, this deep dive has robots, cutting-edge tech,
Wow.
and even potential applications that could change the world.
I'm intrigued. Let's get into it.
Okay, so, you know what's crazy is
Yeah.
that even though hula hooping has been around for centuries, like we're talking evidence going back to ancient Greece and beyond, there hasn't been a ton of scientific research on it.
You know, that's fascinating because you think about it,
Yeah.
they defy gravity.
Exactly. And most of the research that did exist was focused on these like flat 2D models,
Yeah.
which obviously can't capture the full dynamics of a hoop
Right.
moving around a 3D object like,
Of course.
you know, a human,
Right.
right?
It wasn't until recently, like 2024,
Okay.
that researchers decided to take a completely different approach. They published their findings in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, PNAS,
Okay.
for those in the know,
Yeah.
and it involves something pretty ingenious.
Robots.
Mini robot hula hoopers,
Yeah.
to be precise.
Exactly.
The article says that they were 3D printed, only about 7 inches tall,
Okay.
and came in all sorts of shapes.
Oh, really?
Cylinders, cones, even hourglasses.
Wow.
And get this, they even gave them these tiny motors
Oh, wow.
to get those hoops spinning.
That's a great example of
How sometimes you need to think outside the box to really understand a problem.
totally.
By using these robots and sophisticated computer software,
Yeah.
researchers could control the movements
Uh-huh.
and analyze exactly what was happening.
As those hoops were spinning,
Precisely.
and the findings, well, first of all, it turns out that getting that initial spin
Yes.
in the same direction that you're moving is crucial.
Okay.
Then it's all about a very delicate balance between two key forces. Does anyone remember the centrifugal force from high school physics?
I do.
It's that outward force that you feel when something's spinning.
Yeah, like when you're on a merry-go-round
Exactly.
and you feel like you're going to fly off.
Yeah, so in the case of the hula hoop, as it's spinning,
Yeah.
centrifugal force pushes it outwards
Okay.
against your body,
Right.
but it doesn't just fly off, right?
No.
That's where rolling friction comes in.
Okay.
Think of it like the grip between a tire and the road.
Oh, yeah.
That slight resistance helps keep the hoop from just like slipping down.
I see.
But here's where things get
Uh-oh.
really mind-blowing.
Okay.
Body shape
No.
actually matters.
Real.
The study found that people with a more defined waist for holding the hoop
Right.
and hips for pushing
Okay.
tend to have,
So like an hourglass figure.
kind of, yeah.
An easier time.
Yeah, before anyone gets discouraged,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that this doesn't mean you can't hula hoop if you don't have that certain body type.
Right.
This study is more about understanding the mechanics involved.
Yeah.
Plenty of people can become expert hoopers with practice,
Yeah.
no matter their shape.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. It's not just about your physique.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the forces at play and mastering the technique.
Right.
Okay, so we've got spinning robots, Physics 101, even a little bit of body mechanics in there.
Yeah.
But where does the future tech come in?
Oh, you mentioned earlier that this hula hoop research could have some really interesting applications.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Even the slightest movement of your body can send a hula hoop flying off in a completely different direction, right? So this observation led the researchers to consider whether they could harness energy from those types of vibrations.
Okay.
It's called energy harvesting.
Energy harvesting.
And it's basically about capturing the energy produced by movement
Yeah.
and using it to power other things.
So it's...
Imagine if your phone could charge just from you walking around.
Whoa, that's incredible. I never would have thought that something like a simple toy like a hula hoop would be connected to something as advanced as energy harvesting.
It really highlights how seemingly simple things
Yeah.
can hold the key to incredible breakthroughs.
Yeah.
It's all about looking at the world with a curious mind and seeing those connections
Yeah.
where others might not.
That's so cool. But energy harvesting isn't the only potential application. These robotic hula hoopers might also hold the secret to better robotic gripping and transportation.
Okay.
Wait, robots that can move things without actually grabbing them?
Right.
How does that even work?
It all comes down to the way the researchers were able to control the vertical position of the spinning hoop along the robot's body.
Okay.
They realized that they could move the hoop up or down
Oh.
just by adjusting the robot's movements.
Oh.
This suggests that we might be able to create robots that can manipulate and move objects using a similar principle.
Wow.
All without the need for those traditional grasping mechanisms.
This is blowing my mind. We started with a simple toy,
I know.
and now we're talking about robots that could revolutionize how we move and interact with objects.
It's a great example of how understanding the physics of everyday objects can lead to groundbreaking technological advancements.
So basically, a hula hoop is more than just a toy.
So much more.
It's a window into the world of physics, energy, and maybe even the future of robotics. Who would have thought?
Oh, it's pretty amazing, huh?
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've got centrifugal force rolling friction, robots, and even a glimpse into the future of technology.
We did.
But what does this all mean for you, dear listener?
Right.
Why should you care about the science of hula hooping?
This deep dive is really about reminding us that knowledge and inspiration can come from the most unexpected places.
I like that.
It's about looking at the world with a sense of wonder and asking questions, even about things that seem ordinary.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you will be the one to make the next big discovery.
Right.
All thanks to a little curiosity.
I love that. So now that we've got the basics down,
Yeah.
are you ready to get into some even more mind-blowing stuff?
I am. Let's do it.
Because this hula hoop adventure is just getting started.
Okay. You know, as we were talking about these potential applications, I started thinking about other fields where this hula hoop research could be relevant.
Like what?
What about prosthetics?
Oh.
Could these insights into movement and balance help us design more efficient and intuitive prosthetic limbs?
That's a brilliant connection.
Right.
I mean, the way a hula hoop interacts with the body's natural pivot points, like the hips, the waist.
Yeah.
It's almost like a dance, right?
It is.
Could those same principles be applied to prosthetics?
Yeah.
To help people move more naturally and with less effort?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine prosthetic limbs designed to work in harmony with the body's movements. Almost mimicking that fluid motion of a hula hoop.
Right.
It could revolutionize how people with limb differences navigate the world.
And it's not just about prosthetics.
Right.
What about physical therapy?
Oh, yeah.
Could hula hooping itself be used as a form of rehabilitation?
Interesting.
It's low impact. It engages your core muscles. And it's fun.
There's definitely potential there.
Yeah.
Think about the coordination and balance required to keep that hula hoop spinning.
Yeah.
It could be a really engaging way
Right.
for patients recovering from injuries or surgeries to regain strength and mobility.
Yeah.
Plus, who doesn't love a little bit of fun during therapy?
Right. It's all about finding those unexpected connections and seeing the potential in things we might normally overlook.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've gone from a simple toy
Yeah.
to robots, energy harvesting, and now even medical applications.
It's amazing.
But before we get too carried away, let's bring it back to our listener.
Okay.
What's the takeaway here?
Yeah.
What can we learn from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway is the power of curiosity. We started this deep dive with a seemingly simple object.
A hula hoop.
A hula hoop.
Yeah.
And look where it's taken us.
Seriously?
It's a reminder that there's so much we don't know, even about the things we think we understand.
Absolutely. Sometimes the most groundbreaking discoveries come from asking questions about every day, the mundane.
The simple things.
Who knows? Maybe our listener will be inspired to look at something in their own life with fresh eyes and make an amazing discovery.
That would be awesome.
And it's not just about making discoveries. It's about finding joy in the process of learning.
Oh, yeah.
Hula hooping is a perfect example. It's fun, it's challenging, and it teaches you something new about your body and the world around you.
I love that. It's a reminder that learning doesn't have to be boring or tedious.
Right.
It can be playful, it can be exciting, and it can lead to some truly mind-blowing insights.
Exactly. So to our listener out there,
Yes.
I encourage you to embrace your curiosity. Don't be afraid to ask questions, explore new ideas, and challenge your assumptions.
Yeah.
You never know where it might lead you.
Well said.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into hula hoop science.
Yeah, we have.
We've explored the physics, the potential applications, and even the philosophical implications.
I got you.
But before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
Oh, I like where this is going. Lay it on us.
We've talked a lot about the science and the technology.
We have.
But let's not forget about the simple joy of hula hooping.
Yes.
It's a form of expression, a way to connect with your body, and a reminder that sometimes the most fulfilling things in life are the simplest.
Absolutely. Sometimes we get so caught up in the complexities of the world
I know.
that we forget to appreciate the beauty and the wonder of the everyday.
Yeah.
Hula hooping is a great way to reconnect with that childlike sense of play.
Totally.
And rediscover the joy of movement.
Perfectly said. So to our listener, I say this.
Okay.
Go find a hula hoop. Put on some music and let loose. You might be surprised at what you discover both about yourself and about the world around you. It's amazing how we started with just a question about hula hoops. Something so simple.
I know, right?
You know, something a lot of us probably haven't even thought about in years.
Yeah, total childhood flashback.
But look where we ended up. We went from like basic physics to robots to like cutting edge tech, and even touched on like potential applications in medicine.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is. It's like this little toy opened up this whole new way of looking at the world.
It's all about perspective, right?
Totally. And you know, speaking of discoveries, I have a challenge for you.
Okay, I'm listening.
If you're out there listening
Yeah.
and you're thinking, well, this is all very interesting, but I'm just not a hula hoop person,
Right.
I urge you to reconsider. Go find a hula hoop. I bet you can dig one up somewhere.
Yeah, probably in the back of a closet.
Give it another try.
Yeah.
But this time, pay attention. Really feel the forces at work. Think about that initial spin we talked about. The balance between like the centrifugal force and the rolling friction.
Right.
Notice how even just the slightest shift in your body can affect how the hoop moves.
It's a great way to like really experience those principles we were talking about firsthand.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe that deeper understanding will spark some new idea, a new invention, or even just a new appreciation for how amazingly complex something as simple as a hula hoop can be.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
So there you have it. We started with a listener question about a childhood toy.
Yeah.
And ended up exploring the frontiers of science and technology.
It just goes to show that inspiration can come from anywhere.
Literally anywhere.
And that even the most ordinary things can have the most extraordinary secrets.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the surprisingly complex and fascinating world of hula hoop science. We hope you learned something new. Maybe you had a couple aha moments.
At least one.
And maybe even felt inspired to dust off that old hula hoop.
Yeah.
And give it a whirl. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and those questions coming.
See ya.